You got the microphone on? Are we ready to roll? Are we rolling? Are we going? I am calling this Belhaven Week on the Mary Wieden and You show because we have guests today from Belhaven. They are people who have won something that's never been done before. They are among the first faculty research grantees ever awarded in the history of Belhaven University. And that's very cool. And you will meet them in just a couple minutes. And you will also learn some new vocabulary words because they are doing things that most of us don't know anything about, but that's okay. We will learn because, after all, they are teachers, and they'll tell us about it. But, let's warm them up, Lance. Let's warm them up. Let's give these people something to get all excited about this morning. Let's start off giving away a turkey.
Turkey time.
Turkey time, yes. Be the third person to text us at 601-879-43.
Do two. We got two to give away, so let's do the third
one for
the
this.
third and the sixth.
Oh, we can do both right now?
Do both at the same
okay.
time, yeah. So the third and the sixth texter will receive a turkey.
Okay, 601-879-4395. Yeah, I can never remember that number. I've only been doing the show for 8 years. Can you imagine?
If you don't think about it, it comes to you
Yes.
with relative ease.
But, yeah, start thinking about it. Anyway, we're going to do that, and we'll have something later on as well, later on the show.
Second segment?
Well, yes, probably the second segment. Now, so here's the deal. I've got in the studio these wonderful professors, and they are, and let me get all my paper together here. I've got Dr. Kelley, Dr. Ariel Kelley. Where is your paper? Where's your page? It's right here someplace. Dr. Ariel Kelley, and she is an associate professor of chemistry, and Dr. John Neiswinger, professor of biology. And they have been awarded some money to fund your independent research. Congratulations. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
I mean, that's really terrific for you all and, for the university. And a lot of people didn't realize, like me, that Belhaven was heavily into this very advanced STEM work. I didn't know that. It's wonderful. And by the way, on Friday we're going to have the president of the university, Dr. Parrott, will be here. But let me see now. Here's where it comes into some vocabulary. Dr. Ariel Kelley, you've been awarded $75,000, and your project is Supermolecular Engineering of Nitrosamine Cocrystals for Risk Reduction. And it explores innovative ways to reduce the risks associated with certain nitrogen-containing compounds. Dr. Kelley, what do you do? What is this?
Yes. So, when I went and got my graduate school degree and my doctorate, I kind of fell in love with the compound nitrogen.
And what does it do?
So,
blow people up. I know.
Yes. So I fell in love with the compound, the element nitrogen, and then with the compound nitroso. So when I decided to go and form my own research group when I got the job at Belhaven, I was like, well, I want to stick with nitrogen. I want to stick with something close to nitrosos, and I fell into the world of nitrosamines. So I like to think of it as, I'm a nerd, so I love Legos. I love puzzles. So I like to think of it as almost like a Lego piece. So the nitrosamine is a Lego piece of a molecule that you can then basically put with other Lego pieces to build other things or to build cocrystals, as what my title says.
And I don't know what cocrystals are either. We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, so you can think of, crystals, you can think of salt, sodium chloride. That's a crystal. Salt, and by itself, is just salt. It's just sodium and chloride ions together. A co-crystal is two molecules, which is what I'm trying to build. So my nitrosamine puzzle piece might be green. I like green. And then we'll stick with the Belhaven theme. What I'm trying to mix it with, let's say another different compound might be yellow, right? But then they fit together.
Okay.
And as soon as you put those two pieces together, you can change the chemistry. You can trap it. You can then sometimes make studying the chemistry of the molecules even easier. And that's what I would like to do.
Well, what are you, is this something humanoid that you're building, or is it strictly?
It is strictly, you can't see it. This is just the picture I use in my head.
Wow.
So the chemistry I use to be able to look at the structures of my puzzles, of my Lego pieces that I've built, right? My supermolecular Lego pieces, is I use something called NMR. So if you've ever had an MRI done on your body, it's the same type of science.
Sort of like that, yes.
Yeah, it's just, so MRI is the same science. NMR is nuclear magnetic resonance, another term that you can learn today. But it allows me, it gives,
our heads are exploding.
Yes.
You've seen the thing. Yeah, the head exploding.
Yes.
Emoji. Emoji head.
Well, just picture, I put in a sample, just like you put your body into an MRI, and it gives me something I can read that tells me about my molecules. And
Okay.
that's what I do.
We do. Well, Dr. John Neiswinger, now let's about him. It says, let's see, you've gotten money for clinically based and novel mutagenesis on the human kinome. The research involves students beginning next semester, etc. And then you get into enzymes are kinases. No,
Kinases, yes.
kinases have always been fascinating, and I'm able to work with them again and bring my students along for the ride. And then what is that? What is that? What is he talking about here?
So kinases are a type of protein that we have.
Move a little closer to your
in
microphone.
biology.
Yeah.
Kinases are a type of protein that are in our bodies that are catalysts, which means they perform chemical reactions. Specifically, they add a group called a phosphate group. They're kind of like a Lego piece. They add a specific phosphate group to a target, and that usually that modification kind of changes the shape of the protein, and it makes it either turn on or turn off its function.
That's where the word mutagenesis comes in.
Yeah, so the mutagenesis is talking about DNA mutations, and
Wow.
a lot of diseases are caused by changes in DNA, mutations in DNA, that lead to proteins not being the way that they were originally. So if you mutate a particular part of a protein, you can break that protein and make it not work the way it's supposed to.
Oh, wow.
And
In our
so-
food, for instance, this is obviously or pills or whatever people take.
Sometimes
you take
sometimes
it.
the way that we metabolize certain foods make it so that we don't have the proteins that function to be able to break down and metabolize our food correctly, and so that could lead to things like lactose intolerance and stuff like that.
Oh, fascinating.
And so we have this particular class of proteins called kinases, are what I studied in grad school.
Where did you go to school, by the way?
I went to the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine in Baltimore, and it was a great place to learn about these kinases. And I studied actually how they were modified by sugars, but I'm not doing that here. What I'm doing is there's a database called ClinVar. It's kind of curated by the National Institutes of Health, and what they do is they take doctors who have patients that they've diagnosed with a particular disease. If they've gotten their DNA sequenced, they can identify certain mutations in those individuals that that at least makes a correlation between this person has a disease and this person has this mutation in this protein. And so what I'm going to do is recreate some of those mutant kinases, and see how they act differently. Like how good they are at doing their job after the mutation.
Wow. Fascinating. And you've been doing this for how long?
So I haven't started the research yet. I just got the grant to be able to do this research, but it's been an idea I've kind of had marinating in my head for a while. And once I found that database, I was like, this is a kind of a perfect example to have for this type of work. And it's really easily done by students as well. I think it'll be a pretty easy project for them.
Do you two? I can't imagine that you would work together because your disciplines are so completely opposite. But maybe you do to an extent.
I would say, I actually have a student now, and that's the most exciting part to me, is that now my students get to go and do this research, right? But I have a student who I've now trained, because I'm a physical organic chemist. I've taught her these skills, but now she wants to go and do research with Dr. Neiswinger, and now she can take those skills over to you. And I feel like and also, like, if I ever have a biology question about my nitrosamines and how they interact in the body, I'm going straight to him, because I'm a physical organic chemist. I don't know. I need his help.
We're all in the same building on campus, and it's really collegial atmosphere. We love
That's great.
collaborating with each other.
How many students do you have in your classes?
I guess it depends. The upper level classes, like I have 11 in my biochemistry course this semester. That's actually relatively large for me.
Yes,
really?
I have the largest organic chemistry class this year of almost 20 students, which... So
that's a bunch.
We're growing.
Yeah. Yes, really.
Our STEM department is growing by leaps and bounds, and that's what we want.
Yeah.
Where did you get your degree in, Dr. Kelley? Where did you go to school? Because you're a Mississippi girl.
I am a Mississippi girl. I went Roll Tide to the University of Alabama. So
Hotty toddy for you.
That's okay. But then I came right back home. So
That was nice. That was nice. And you were at Johns Hopkins when Dr. He used to be HUD secretary during the first Trump administration. He was the one who separated conjoined twins.
Yeah.
Was he there at the time? I wonder. I would think that
I don't think
you
he
wouldn't
was.
have had to.
Yeah, I
wouldn't
didn't
have
take. I didn't
You
venture
didn't
over to
take
medical school at least that part of the medical school very often.
Well, who applied for the grant money? Who did the application work? And did you get involved with that? Did you say, look, we need this, or how does that work?
Oh, yeah, that was all us.
That's us.
Simple question, right? It's just real simple.
Yeah.
We write the budget. We get quotes to see how much the instruments that we want to buy to help the students do the research cost, and we put it all together and submit it, and then hope. Hope and pray.
It worked because there's a total I've seen around here. It's a pretty good amount of money that the university received, and all together with these with the whole grant thing.
Yeah,
and
over $500,000,
you're the first. Yeah, you all are the first in your particular groups. The first to do that for the school. I think that's terrific.
Yeah,
You know,
It's very exciting.
Yes. Did anybody ever say, "Oh, that's a small school"? How do they do that? It ain't no small school, by the way. Belhaven is growing leaps and bounds and has been for the last few years. I've been fascinated with watching Belhaven and with having Dr. Parrott on talking about that too.
We're so known for the arts
Yes.
that lots of people just don't understand that we do have a STEM department. That we have chemistry and math and computer science and biology and exercise science, sports medicine. We have these STEM fields that exist on campus, and we do have a lot of students that double major in like some sort of art program as well as a STEM program, and so they get a pretty broad worldview.
Yeah, dance and chemistry is very common, actually.
Yeah, it's very
Really?
strange.
Well, I wonder what this clears your mind, or something. I don't know. Something, because both of your areas are so, it's mind exploding, and you do need to, as a student, so you have to have a break. So that's a pretty good idea. That's a pretty good way to do it. How long have you been doing this, Dr. Kelley?
So I have been at Belhaven. This is my 5th year. Just got promoted to associate, so that's exciting to me. But I've been doing research since I started. One thing I knew when I joined the chemistry department at Belhaven was that even though we weren't currently like being competitive for like funding, is that we wanted to do undergraduate research as a way of teaching the students. So I came in with my nitrosamine project and was like, let's do some chemistry. Let's throw some stuff together and see what we can make. And so I've been doing this for 5 years, and it's so wonderful to now have money to actually be able to support a student to work for me this summer.
That will be very good, won't it? All right, I want to know what you both did when you were kids growing up. Did you experiment and do scientific things when you were kids, or did this come later on in life? How'd this work out?
I really liked Legos a lot. I played around and kind of tinkered a lot with the Legos. But I was actually, in undergrad, I was a chemistry major as well because I had a really good chemistry teacher in high school. And that's really when my love for science started, was in high school with a really good chemistry teacher.
That's interesting.
But then I shifted over to biology in undergrad. I took biochemistry, and it kind of blew my mind. And I was like, I need to pursue this type of chemistry, doing interesting things in biological systems. But as a kid, I was more of a tinkerer, and it really wasn't until high school that I really kind of dove into science.
And how about you, Dr. Kelley? Were you a nerd kid? Or
Yes, I was. I was more of a questioner, and I liked to drive my father insane with all the questions I had. I grew up on a farm. I liked seeing, how things grew, and just how everything worked in the world. So I was always very curious. I also loved dinosaurs, but similar to what Dr. Neiswinger said, is that I had a wonderful high school chemistry teacher.
Interesting.
Yes, so she was wonderful. So even though, I'm from Stringer, Mississippi, so very small school, the best chemistry high school teacher, and that kind of led me towards my passion of I'm going to get an undergraduate chemistry degree. Thought I was going to be a pharmacist, ended up as a professor.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I thought I was going to be a veterinarian until I looked at the course. Too much math. Sorry, can't do that. But although my father was a math genius, I don't know why he never said, I'll coach you. Or why didn't I say, hey, get me through this? So, I'll do something that doesn't involve math. And usually this involves smaller segments of math. Hey, Lance, did we get some winners? You want to tell them what they are?
We have one so far, and we need to repeat just so that we get some more action. Yes.
Well, to get a turkey, and these are from Logan Farms, I believe, correct? All you have to do is text us at 601-879-4395 and be the, which call?
Well, we know, the next, the third one this time around.
Oh,
yeah.
you got
we already got one out of the way. That was the third caller, and then the sixth one. So in this, since we don't have any on the line right now, let's say the third one who texts in now will get a turkey.
They'll get a
as well.
turkey.
Yeah.
Okay. Later on, we'll have other things for other people, but get your turkey. Be the sixth person to text us. And, you can text us questions and comments as well. You can do that. So how many of you have to deal with kids who are like, well, I don't really know about this?
Yeah, like,
or do they come
what
in
you wanna
saying,
do?
hey, I'm pretty cool on this. I've been studying it for years and stuff. How do they approach you? How do they come to you?
I mean, I think a lot of students, again, are coming to Belhaven. We have a lot of art students, a lot of business majors and so forth as well. And when they venture over into the STEM departments, even there's a lot of kind of broad topics within STEM. And so we have a lot of students that are interested in science in some way, but they don't necessarily know what direction they want to go in. And so really it's like the freshman year, maybe the sophomore year, they're kind of feeling out their interests a little bit. And then hopefully they'll latch on to some sort of topic that they want, and hopefully the research that we're offering is going to be something that they'll get interested in once they start learning about what we're talking about in their classes.
Really, get out your vocabulary test, kids,
Yeah.
because they're going to learn words that like look and stuff. Your nitrosamine reminds me. I'm thinking that's a word sort of that I think I know, but no, it's glucosamine is the one we hear, but that's
Yes,
not
that's the common one.
That's not the one that applies here at all. How do you use AI, or are you?
That's the tough question for.
So I
any of our
can, so how I
faculty at this point.
use AI is as a tool.
Yeah.
So I like to use it to sometimes help me come up with ideas of how to teach a class.
Good thought. Hold on. We'll take a break. We'll come back for another segment here. It's Mary Wieden and You, and two wonderful university professors from Belhaven are here with us to talk about the things that they're doing that you can learn to do too. Stay with us. Welcome back to Mary Wieden You. This is our final segment with our two guests we have in the studio from Belhaven University. We have Dr. Ariel Kelley and Dr. John Neiswinger, and they're into things that we can't hardly understand or pronounce. No, but I'm really pleased because they are among the first recipients ever to get faculty research grants. The first time it's ever been awarded to the university. And Belhaven's not a new school. It's a wonderful thing, and congratulations to you both. And so money comes to you. What do you do with the money, and when does it start coming in, for your grants? And when they say, here, Dr. Neiswinger, here, Dr. Kelley, these are your checks. Go and do your thing. How does that work?
Well, I just got a note that I finally have mine, I guess, officially given to me, and so really it's just a process of I already had to make a budget for the grant, and so they have a general idea of what I'd be spending the money on anyway.
And tell us again what it is that you and students are going to be working on when you do this.
Yeah, so we're going to be basically using some, I guess, what are called curated mutations that have been basically identified by clinicians that have diagnosed people that have certain diseases. They've identified certain mutations and uploaded it to this database. And so we're going to regenerate some of those mutant proteins and see how their, it's called activity, how their function changes because of that.
You know what I'm wondering? When you were talking about this earlier, I was thinking about autism. Mm-hmm. That sounds like it. Well, I know, but just talking about it and observing people with it, it's like a mutation. It's a mutation of something, isn't it?
It's hard. I think autism is one of the trickier things to try to figure out the root cause of what proteins are different. I don't think we really have a clear answer of that.
But you work with some of those proteins?
Potentially. Yeah, I mean, there's at least 500 different kinases that humans have, and so they're involved in a lot of different things. Cancer is like a pretty big one. Things like muscular dystrophy and diabetes and all those kind of things have kinases at some point in their metabolism.
Then on Good Morning America, I didn't get to really see the thing, but they talked about an actor who has, I don't know if it's ALS, something like that, and it was he was Dr. McDreamy back in the day, and what's his name? Well, anyway,
Patrick Dempsey?
No, not Patrick Dempsey, the other one. Okay. He was Dreamy. This was the one that he was Dr. Dreamy, and this is McDreamy or something. This is the next one anyway. The next one that came along, and he's I think it's ALS, and trying to fight it as best you can. So, but your work goes in eventually to those.
It'll eventually, hopefully, identify at the end of the day, what you kind of want to find is a druggable target at some point, probably, where you identify like some sort of protein that's changed, and you can try to alter that protein in some way to try to fix the problem if possible.
I kind of get that, but Dr. Kelley, like I'm looking at your project, and is your project supermolecular engineering of nitrosamine cocrystals for risk reduction. What's the risk reduction? What is all that?
Yes.
Please go through it again.
So
and I know you're talking about building like a Lego and building something.
Yes. So I will use those Lego pieces and those co-crystals I eventually build and the reason I want to build those is that nitrosamines are commonly compounds that are made in metabolic processes in our body that can be carcinogenic. So we don't want that.
Right.
Nobody wants that. We can also find them in our drinking water. So we don't want compounds that could potentially be carcinogenic in our drinking water. So if I can find a way to trap them with that other Lego piece, right, and pull them out.
Yes.
Now I'm reducing that risk for us in our body.
Wonderful. Boy, are you needed in Jackson. Don't go far away. Jackson needs your help. That is such a confounding situation with the water, except that the simple explanation is it comes out of the reservoir, it goes into Mr. Curtis, as I call that big one up there, and then or down to Mr. Fuel, that other one. But Mr. Curtis is so loaded up with stuff that he will need somebody of your caliber to figure out, what goes where to just get drinking water into these people's pipes. Yes. But eventually it could be something like that one day.
Yes. Basically, I'm a physical organic chemist. I like to make compounds that do things.
Okay.
Right?
Like, what other ones? What other things you do?
So maybe I can make semiconducting materials with nitrosamines as a part of those crystals that I've been talking about in those Lego pieces. So there's so many, I'm still at that really foundational research of what can we do, because they're so reactive. So we need to find a way to study them that is safe, because again, they're carcinogenic. We don't want to hurt ourselves, right? We don't want that happening in our body. So I'm also doing this chemistry with what is called green chemistry. I don't know if you ever heard that term before.
Green chemistry? No.
Okay. So green chemistry, there's 12 principles to it. And basically it's, how can we do chemistry that's safe for the environment? So I'm already trying to do chemistry to prevent nitrosamines from causing carcinogens being in drinking water. But I also want to do the research in a way that also protects the environment. So less bad chemicals being used. The way I make these, can I use chemicals that are not so dangerous? And that's what green chemistry really comes down to.
Wow. You both are so enthusiastic. I mean, which it's a good thing. Who wants a professor who's not? But no, you're both so enthusiastic about your subjects. And by the way, when we went to break, we were on the thought of AI, and I was asking, are you using it? And can you use it? How is it working for you? For either one of you, whichever has more to do with it.
Yeah, so I think I was mentioning how I use AI as a tool. I fully believe, I like to equate it back to a calculator. When a calculator first came out, it's like, oh, well, nobody's going to know how to do math anymore. But people can still do math.
Oh, you think?
Well, I hope so. At least I hope so. So same thing with AI, having AI, help me, I can be help me come up with an idea for class today. What's something to help me allow my students to really learn this concept? And that's wonderful.
Yes.
Where it becomes a problem is if the students want to have it to completely make a paper or a lab report, etc. So using it as a tool is wonderful. Don't use it as a crutch, is my opinion.
Okay.
I have my students. Fortunately, a lot of my assignments, I don't know about Dr. Kelley's assignments either, but most of our assignments, you can't use AI too much to get the answers. But for my students, what I recommend they do is use it to make study guides for them. They always ask me for study guides. That's been one of the most common questions I've been asked.
Interesting.
But you can upload the PowerPoint to ChatGPT and have it make you a study guide. Now I will caution them. I'll say the best way to study is make your own study guide. That's a better way to learn.
Right.
But you can use it to kind of self-check your understanding and stuff like that. So if you're using it as a tool in that fashion, it can be really powerful and really help students, I guess, maybe see the information in a slightly different way that makes it so that they can learn it better.
How long have you both been using AI?
probably 2 years.
2 years since really ChatGPT came out. That was like really when we started, like when it became easily accessible to the public.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to do it. I mean, I Googled, but
just
I've
download
Googled some
an
stuff. Just, is that all you have to do is download an app? Because I'm thinking, I think I talked about this before I'll have an avatar and I'll stick its head full of, my thoughts and ideas and send it to work. No, but, it could be very helpful to do a job like this, as in, what do you think would be a good idea for today or something like that? I have had some human brains that are no longer with us to help me with stuff like that, and that could be pretty good.
It's almost like a brainstorming
built on my
capability.
brainstorm with your own brain. Really, is what you're doing.
Aid, yeah.
I mean, does the AI understand what it is? That it is a tool, that it is a program, that that is not a food eating entity or something like that. This is the thing that worries people. I think in the end that the AI is going to take over the world. No, they're not going to take over the world.
Personally, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think the AI can only ever do what it's been, I guess, taught to do.
Yeah, what you put into it.
For the most part. So.
When did you have class today, or will you have classes this afternoon or this morning?
Yes, I'm currently in an interview, and I know I have 2 students worried about their interview they get to do with me later. So I teach a chemistry seminar class for our seniors to prepare them for their life outside of Belhaven and prepare them for that. So they get to do an interview with me to prepare for their future interviews for med school or grad school. And then I also have a lab this afternoon, an organic lab.
Okay, what are you going to do in the lab?
We are doing their lab finals, so they are also very scared right now. Don't tell them if any of my students are listening. Don't close your ears.
Yeah.
They're going to basically extract an expectorant from a cough tablet. And then get graded on how well they do that.
Okay. In words I understand. What about you? What are you going to do?
I just have lab this afternoon for my freshman gen bio class. So we're going through a case study it's called a defective organelle case study. It actually kind of ties in a little bit to my research. Like there's a protein that was mutated and caused this particular disease in a child, and so we take a look at kind of the physiological effects of that and how the parents are identifying it and how the doctors diagnose it and stuff like that. So.
How will you manage your grants? Because you get checks or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you have to manage that. You have to, you got to be CPAs there for a little bit of it too, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Our business office helps us a little bit with that.
There is that.
Yeah, that has been tremendously helpful. Yeah, we have someone in administration that is at least better with handling all the money and stuff.
Like a math major.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I basically know kind of. We had to know beforehand what we were planning on buying and basically what the costs were going to be for our budget. And so now, I guess this week, I'm going to be putting together those orders, and then I'm probably going to order them after Thanksgiving because I don't want packages to come during Thanksgiving.
Really? Yes.
Basically, I know what I was supposed to order, and I just get to order it and at least order a good bit of it to start with.
And you're going to start the first of the year for both of you with your working on your grant? Yeah. Well, so what will happen with classrooms at that time? Are you going to still be teaching, or you'll still be teaching, and then whichever part of the day you'll dedicate to that?
Yeah, so we still full-time teach, but luckily at Belhaven, we don't teach summer classes, so that's when I know, I will start in January putting out a call hey, who wants to work for me this summer? Apply.
If you can say these words and understand what they do, you're in.
Yes, and so then, even if they don't understand the words, that's the great part about that. I can teach them. Yeah. And that's what's wonderful about it. And so then I'll hire a student, and I already have students in my research group that are doing research now. And so generally Friday afternoons are research time for us in the chemistry department.
Excuse me, let me just back out for 1 second. So Lance, where are we with our stuff?
Well, we've got the turkeys out of the way.
Okay.
And in the next segment, we'll get the lights because we're about to go to break here in a second.
Okay.
But if you want to go on and set it.
Well,
we have two carloads to get away for Brandon Lights.
Yeah, that's be good. He just said it. Brandon Lights is a big
lights.
deal.
Send me. I need the 3rd and 6th.
3rd and 6th, and you'll get those in the next segment. That's a really cool thing, and it's nice we're giving these things away. And so it's a car load. It's one ticket. You can put as many people as you can get safely in your car. I have to use that word safely because I can imagine people throwing a bunch of people. No, don't. Everybody's got to be on a seatbelt, so you got to be smart about it. But it's not just for one person or 2 people. It's for as many people as you can stash in your in your vehicle. So
I just bought a 12-passenger van last
You did?
summer. So
What
I can
kind
bring
did you
12 people. Ford Transit.
Oh, okay. I don't know much about vans, but I think Hondas are pretty popular. Honda Odysseys are.
Yeah, we have
But you
one of
have
those.
4 children, right?
Well, and then we have 2 foster children too, so it's a busy
Big
house.
deal.
That's why I needed an upgrade to a 12-passenger.
Well, I want to thank you both for coming in this morning. He and I are going to spend the next segment doing some other things that we're going to talk off the top of our heads. But I've got Dr. Ariel Kelley and Dr. John Neiswinger from Belhaven who came to us this morning and taught us wonderful things. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And it's worth doing. And good luck in your research.
Thank you.
Let us hear from you in time. Okay. All righty. We'll come back for our final segment and give away some stuff. Stay where you are. Really. Okay. Welcome back for our final segment. We've just got a couple things to talk about. First of all, I believe it's today. Jackson City Council is going to confirm Tyree Jones as the chief of police, but it's a bookkeeping thing. You can be an interim for so much period of time, and they don't have a permanent person. But that doesn't mean he's going to be the permanent. I mean, he'll have the title, not just interim. He'll have the title, but he wants to be the sheriff. And so we've been in touch, but he's up to his ears and his eyeballs, as you might guess by this time of the year. Yeah, he's really busy, but we will catch up with him. And what else was the other thing that was going on in Jackson? Oh, the planetarium. I thought that was nice. The planetarium will finally open after it's been shut since 2018, for heaven's sake.
Wow.
That's terrible.
That was like a childhood,
That's awful.
man, going to the
Yeah,
planetarium.
really. And so it's going to be the, let's see, Davis McNair. Or McNair Davis Planetarium. It was named after, what was the mayor's name? Davis. His last name was Davis.
Remember that one.
Yeah, I don't know. His name was Davis. And then Ron McNair. Ronald McNair was the astronaut photographer. He had a special 360 degree camera. I believe it was invented here in Jackson, and he was going to be taking it up to get video. And of course, we know what happened.
Yeah.
We know what happened. Did you see
Well, I
that?
don't
Did
know
you remember the
I don't know
accident?
story, no.
You didn't know that?
No, I do not.
Well, that's what he was going to do. And yeah, he was on assignment for Jackson, Mississippi, and that was a pretty cool thing. And I remember the day it happened, I had TV on. Of course, I'm a TV baby. I have it on all the time. And I watched the launch, and I love watching launches, by the way. I just, there was one the other day. It was Blue Origin. That was a thrill to watch. And so I was watching, the rocket went up, it shot up, and then it kind of wandered off to the side, and just all of a sudden the exuberance in the audience was changed into horror and fear, and no, this can't be happening. What is happening? And of course we know what it happened, and it whatever, I don't know why it happened, but it lost the people and all that. So, but that's why I think that's a good thing that Jackson's going to do that. A very good thing. On the national scene, I'm pretty sick and tired of hearing about, what's his name? The perv. The big perv with the island. You know who I'm talking about? What's his name? Lance. The pervert. Yell at me. What's the pervert's name that they're going to do the thing on? How can I not think of that? Anyway, they're going to vote where they can open up those files. Those files have been open up for years. I don't understand the big mystery here. That stuff's been opened up. I guess maybe the details of a lot of that stuff to do with the perv and all that. Because I remember specifically, oh, by the way, Cloudflare outage causes widespread internet disruption. So if you're having problems today, that's the deal. Twitter, X-Twitter, and ChatGPT are down right now, folks. If you're wondering what's going on, well, that's what's going on. Cloudflare outage. Major outage affecting global network. Cloudflare's global networks has spread widespread internet, impacting popular platforms like Elon Musk's X. I'm reading this online here. ChatGPT and even Down Detector, the first place people look to understand internet outages. Cloudflare confirmed it was experiencing a significant issue with the network in the early hours today, causing this stuff. The problem has affected various services. Again, like they repeat these things a million times to get to the guts of the story, including OpenAI's and ChatGPT, and the outage monitoring this site Down Detector, among many other sites and apps experiencing problems. So what are they going to do about it? Let's see. Does it say anything more? The company is currently investigating the issue, which is causing HTTP 500 errors that impact the Cloudflare dashboard and APL. These server-level errors indicate the problem lies within Cloudflare's infrastructure rather than with individual websites or servers. The company claims in one of its most recent updates that the issue has been identified and a fix is being implemented. So, have you noticed anything, Lance? Anything that's weird? Oh, and by the way, we got to give away. Did we give away? All right.
Need to give away too. Yeah, we haven't. We need to get back on the lights.
Okay, yeah, the lights, the magic of lights. Is that what it's called? The magic of lights, the big thing in Brandon.
Magic and lights, and it is a carload of people. We got 2 of those to give away. Just give us the first and second person who gives us their name, and we'll get you some tickets for the magic and lights.
Yeah, pretty cool. Also text us. Russell C. Davis, that's what somebody texted in. Russell C. Davis, yes, he was the one that the planetarium was named after. He was the mayor. Wasn't he the mayor, since you know this, the person, that he created what is now known as Waterworks Curve to not cut through Belhaven? That was a big, apparently at the time. I don't know if it was a big thing at the time or not. Anyway, you can text us at 601-879-4395, 601-879-4395, and talk to Lance, and he will take your name down. So numbers, which one? First and third, did you say?
Yeah, just get me
first
some
and third.
Get me some
The
listeners
first
to text, and we'll get them.
Yep. That's all you got to do. And so you get 1 ticket, but again, it's for it's a car. They're not giving away a car. Your car with as many people as you can safely put inside. Because I'm thinking that sounds terrible to say that. You can just imagine a van or an SUV with 15, 20 kids in there. No, you can't do that. You got to be safe about it. So be safe, safely do it, and we're really happy to do that. I've got to check out. I can't believe already it's Christmas. It was like, wait a minute here. My yard turned yellow overnight. Like, oh. Did your yard turn yellow?
It'll do it. Well, I've overseeded mine with rye, and so yeah.
You have to cut that, don't you? You have to mow that.
Somewhat. It only grows about 3 or 4 inches.
Oh, I'm so sick of yard work. I think I did my last of it the other day.
I thought you were done with it, huh?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can always kind of pick it up a little bit. But I'm glad the darn thing is. I looked out this morning. It's like, what? What is this? This is a wonderful product. And I noticed now, finally, here we are, this far along in November, and the leaves are finally getting their color. I was like, come on, hurry up, let's get on with things here. It's time to put stuff up outside. Anyway, but what's that pervert's name? You know who I'm talking about, the pervert. Jeez, oh, Pete. Oh, my, that we're in a fuss about. Everybody's in such a tizzy about this guy, because Trump's name is mentioned in it. Well, hey, where were you years ago? His name was mentioned in it. And what about what's going on? And the Clintons were both clients because their names were in there. I remember seeing all this stuff. It's like, well, okay, let's, get on with this. Wonder what's up with Larry Summers. He was a Treasury Secretary. Deeply ashamed of his relationship with Epstein.
Somebody told him to be.
Like,
he wasn't ashamed of it until...
Well, he's like, what did he do? It's more than taking pictures, apparently. Jeffrey Epstein. More than pictures, apparently. But I remember seeing pictures of the former Prince Edward, Bonnie Prince Edward, who now is just Edward... something Windsor is his name.
Yeah, he relinquished his titles.
Well, it got stripped. He's gone, but he's living in part of one of the castles. He's not out looking for an apartment in London.
Yeah, he's not destined to.
No, and he'll still get plenty of money, I'm sure. But he was the one who was mixed up with Ufre. Was her name? Was it Jennifer Ufre?
Yeah, well, she was the one who committed suicide. Knee deep and all that stuff.
Yeah, she committed suicide. But see, this was from years ago, so I don't know why we have to get so excited about it now. They're out. The names are out.
It's one of those things that it just keeps lingering.
Unless it's the memos about, I think a lot of it's the memos.
I think that when you campaign on releasing files and you haven't done it, I believe that a lot of folks are going, well, you said you were going to do it and you just hadn't. Whatever the reasoning is behind it, I think the lack of transparency may be the guesswork. It's probably totally legitimate why it hadn't been released, probably because there's 100 victims' names all over it that don't want their names out. Red acting that may not actually clear it up. Yeah. So there's probably some
legal
questions.
People be in trouble, though.
HIPAA laws, things like that. So again, but when you campaign on it and you had done it,
why did he? We're talking about Trump now. Why did he? It's he campaigned on it. And why did he say he didn't want it? And then all of a sudden he does. He's clear. He didn't do anything wrong. with those people. I mean, they even have to say that on ABC. Every time they do a report, they have to say that because they're the ones I watch on Tuesdays and Friday mornings, and sometimes in the evenings. Maybe might be a Sunday. Because you never know when local and national are going to be on Sunday, if it's going to be on during the football season. But okay, he didn't do anything, so why, so it's good he's going to.
I don't think the president's hiding from anything.
No, he's not.
That if there was some really big news, it probably would have been released.
It would have been released a long time ago, like it was with the Prince Edward.
Ammunition used by whomever, whether Republicans or Democrats.
Well,
they weren't able to get it done.
Two rich guys, and I was thinking that Trump was maybe in between marriages. Apparently, though, not. Well, maybe he wasn't married to, but I think there's a picture of Trump and Melania, along with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, the four of them together, and so I don't think he would have been messing around on Melania. But like I say, he might have been in between marriages, but still, we don't know. It's like, let's get that over with. What else is going on that we need to talk about here?
The usual stuff. Huh?
The usual.
Always things popping. You got.
Yeah. Did you see the outages?
Yeah, that's what I was going with some of that.
Yeah, the internet outages.
It was a mess too, honestly.
I guess it's still going on.
I've had an issue. With it today.
You did?
I did. Yeah.
Oh, I was asking you. Must have been reading because I was saying, do you have any problem for work stuff?
Yeah, it was mostly Twitter. That was the
really
one that was down for the count for me. I don't know if anyone else experienced the same thing, but that's where we are with that kind of stuff. So
hey, that's not our.
I'm about to play it. I'm sorry, I've had my hands full.
I would think that'd be the first thing you put in. There you go.
Sorry.
The theme song of the show. Okay, so think about Dr. Parrott is going to be on our show. Dr. Robert Parrott, the president of Belhaven University. We haven't talked with him in a while, have we? Roger, excuse me, not Robert. Dr. Roger Parrott will be with us on Friday. Looking forward to that. And I got to get on out of here as well. I have to go to the store. I hate that. All right, see you Friday.